So, oh my god, the burp of 100 burps. I remember I walked into one of my teacher's classes, and he straight up was like, "Lucky, don't come in here. They're burping. They're doing a burping contest." And it was like three of the most attractive girls in class, and they're all just belching, dude, like hardcore. And part of me was like slightly turned on right now, and I can't explain why.
I really hope so. It's the beginning of this episode.
It is. Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I'm Lucky.
Here I go! This hand of mine is burning red!
And I'm Michael. Realize the only ones who should kill are those who are prepared to be killed.
Johnny.
Your darkness swallowed up my son? Who decided that?
Erupting! Burning!
Now all of you.
Die.
One. What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I am Lucky.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Johnny.
And we make up Anime Casuals. Today we're going to have another casual discussion, and I hope you guys are enjoying these as much as we are because, yeah, we're having a lot of fun. Also, I apologize for the quality of the last one. My screen capture was down for a little bit, and it all got fixed, so this one should look a little bit better than the last one. And so today we're going to be talking about anime tropes, stereotypes, that kind of thing that we either like or hate. And some of them are probably going to be in the middle because, you know, I mean, anime is just one of those things that just teeters on the edge of like trash and, you know, masterpiece art. You know, it's a fine balance that anime's found. So yeah, why don't I guess I'll just start this off. So we're gonna start with the things that we like, and some of those things may come back in the things that we hate too. So you know, I don't know exactly what theirs are, but some of mine are will definitely go into the hate when you know in certain things. But I guess I'll just start this off with really edgy characters. Now this will come back in the anime tropes I hate because there's certain types, but you know when you do an edgy character right, it really works for me. Like Guts from Berserk, Hajime from Fureta, that dude, those characters are just so edgy and for the right reasons. Like they are real edgy, and when I say for the right reasons, that's what's gonna separate these characters from the ones that I'm gonna mention later. But yeah, just everything that Guts has been through, and also there's no real like Guts has never just been like, man, why is all this happening to me? He's literally just like, I gotta survive one more night. I gotta survive a night of demons attacking me every single night. Every single night he has to fight off demons, and every single night he's like, all right, I gotta fight some demons, and then you know has to go sleep during the day and all this crap. So yeah, real edgy characters is one anime trope I really like. One of you guys wanna let me know another one that you guys like?
Yeah, Johnny. I'm gonna go right now. One I love, and this is a very simple stereotype because it doesn't happen in real life, and I think that's what we can kind of codify or like simplify a lot of these stereotypes is like they're not real life things. Like a lot of anime is full of like that's really over dramatic and ridiculous. And one of them is the I'm really bad with directions, so I don't know how to walk. Like it's most popular, I think, right now in the Zoro from One Piece. Like anytime he tries to get somewhere, he just walks directly the wrong direction. Like, hey, Zoro, go that way, and he walks that way, and you're like, what? Like that's literally impossible. You can't do that. Like they're pointing, just follow the finger. And so many, and I can't really name another one right now, but like every anime where that exists, I laugh a ton out of it because it's hilarious to me. And that's like a little tiny stereotype that I've been loving. I also love chippy moments, like where if it's done right, then it is really good and cutesy. Like where Fire Force has done this, Isekai Quartet is all chibi moments where they take the normal animation, they recede into these tiny cartoon figures that have giant heads, and they just like make a little comedic moment. And I love that almost every time it happens because it really takes serious moments and it pulls you like out of the anime for like a quick comedic joke. And it melts my heart every time. Plus I love seeing characters in chibi form.
Dude, real quick shout out. There was this chibi in Naruto that had Rock Lee in it. I used to think it was really stupid, and then I started. There was just I think they just have it like on Verve now. It used to be like at the very end of the episodes, bro. It is some of the most hilarious stuff that I've ever seen, and it is great. And it actually involves Rock Lee. You know, it's like Rock Lee got shunned so he could go do chibi, and I never realized it. You know, now I know. Now I know. So yeah, what's one that you like in particular, Johnny?
Um, Off the top of my head, I thought of a couple. Actually, funny enough, I went to Psyche K in my brain to figure out like what are a couple because they make a good joke about that where he made all the anime tropes. But top of my head, there's one in One Piece that I really like, which I don't know, maybe you can't call it a trope, but it's everybody's unique laughter.
Ooh,
It's one that I once I realized it, I came to really enjoy and kind of look forward to. Just seeing a new character. Oh, how's this guy gonna laugh? Oh, that's ridiculous. Why is he laughing like that? So that's one. And I think another one that I thought of is the pervy character, because the pervy character is always a precursor to some fan service. So it's like Moth, Flame, and then fan service.
And it's been around since Master Roshi, at least.
Yeah, man, Master Roshi, good guy. So it's top of my head, yeah. So I'd say those are some of my tropes that I enjoy.
I like laughing in a lot of anime because even if it's not like One Piece levels where everybody has a unique laugh, it's like, well, they certainly go out of the way to make sure you know they're laughing because there's like a sound effect with it. I think like they're laughing while speaking Japanese instead of just like, oh, so they're just laughing.
Yeah, it's definitely I think I just heard Blackbeard's today and I was just like, what the heck is going on? And then I mean, we'll talk about it later, but you know, there's just all kinds of them in the most recent arc of One Piece. But the other thing that I really love, and I don't think I see this as much in other comics because I feel like they're too they lay off of it a little bit, which I'll kind of get into with the edgy characters, but is overpowered characters. Like I love overpowered characters in anime, like One Punch Man, Saitama. Most recent one was Anos Voldigode from the Misfit of Demon King Academy. Like I like that they kept it going because they never really gave them like a kryptonite, right? For the most part, like that's the thing is Superman is cool and everything, but he's always got kryptonite. He's always gonna have Batman at his heels because he's got that one thing that levels him out, you know, and not even levels him out. He literally like takes him out of the equation for the most part, which I don't mind. But I like the fact that anime is just like, no, this guy's overpowered. Like he is overpowered, and it leads to either comedy or, in a weird way, a kind of a kind of new thing where they have to figure out when to or they like a lot of times like in Anos' case, he knows when to use his power and when not to because you know if it's too overpowered, he could break the balance of certain things and. You know, obviously he does it for good most times, but you know there are different things in there. So yeah, overpowered characters, I love that trope, and you know, in whatever form it may be. So yeah,
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing is like we could go on for years about all the stereotypes in anime, but I mean like there's like very unique ones. I mean also like pervy moments, also like Maki or Tamaki. I always get her name wrong. Like Tamaki from Fire Force is one that I was like all hesitant on. Well, I was like, this seems to be extreme. This seems to be ridiculous in all the moments. But it created like a little moment of going, what? And then they would get right back into the story, which Fire Force is doing really well at like balancing that out. But that was the first time where I saw like this kind of, this fan service moment that I was like, did that need to happen? Oh, I guess it did. I'm fine with it. Well, let's keep on going.
You question anime and its fan service. It's beautiful and golden.
Blah.
well that's kind of an interesting point, right? Does that mean like is fan service a trope in and of itself too? Like I know it's like a genre too, but if you think about it, there is a lot of fan service in non-fan service anime, if that makes sense. So I mean we have like Boa from One Piece, Boa Hancock, and there's different things like that. Does that make that an anime trope as well? I mean, if so, I like it. I don't hate it. I sure don't hate it.
I don't know. I feel like you could definitely say that, but I'm also, and I don't even know what to really call it otherwise. But it almost feels like it's so general. I mean, you could call a lot of things fan service. You could just call someone, a character with, big boobs. That's the trope, even if they don't do anything fan servicey, but just because they are like that. So I don't know. In a very general sense, I guess I would say it's probably a trope, but to a degree, almost it seems just kind of like an aspect of anime. There's always like that one character at least. I feel like, I mean, I don't know if I can think of an anime that has had all characters that are just flat.
Dude, Johnny, you and me, because you just led right into my next one, the round versus flat chest, or round versus flat Earth. I don't know, round versus flat chest fight in all these anime. I mean, we had that in oh my god, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. There was a little bit of that. There was a little bit of that in one of the. It was a filler for Naruto when Hinata was like a bitch in that one, and then she like went after Sakura's flat chest, and I was like, I kind of like this. I kind of like this.
Girls in a dungeon.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's so many moments. This is where we kind of get in the in between. Like, I don't mind it. I don't mind it too much because it's kind of making fun. But at the same time, I'm like, black girls need some love too. It's like it's like my friends. Actually, no, I can't say that on here. Never mind. But let me just say, one of my friends' dads told him something, when he was drunk about flat chested women. But we'll go into, what. But yeah, that's kind of like one thing that I've always found very funny. It just kind of every time I see one big boob character, because the flat girls also get some really mean barbs in. Like, I've heard so many flat chested women call like girls with big jugs like cows. I was like, geez Louise, that's a rough name for them. Come on, guys. But yeah, that's definitely one that kind of goes in the in between. Like, I don't necessarily hate it, but sometimes it's like, let's all be friends here, guys. Come on. So you guys have anything else that you kind of like or that's in between before we go into the things that we hate, anime tropes that we hate?
I am weirdly in between, and because I like it and dislike it, like in a rock climbing anime we're currently watching, there's a girl who definitely doesn't look like she should be rock climbing. She's like the leader of the rock climbing group, and she's like a little oversized on proportions. She's got big boobs. She's got like really thick thighs, and like I'm like, you can't. I mean, I've never seen a rock climber that looks like that who is like the best rock climber, because immediately like next to her in her group is one of the fittest people I've ever seen. Like, she's got a six-pack, she's got like defined arms, she's got muscles head to toe, and I'm like, why is this character like this? But I don't see any muscles on her. Like I mean, I don't know if you remember, but she just doesn't look like a rock climber, but she's the best, like almost in like I think it was like nationally throughout Japan. It was like, she's the best. I'm like, but she doesn't look like it. So sometimes this like characters who are like over perfect proportions. Like, I'm like, do we need to have this in this genre right now? Does this need to be here? In other genres, like fan service anime, I'm like, oh yeah, put it all up and down. You got Peter Grill. It's like every girl in there is like that. I'm like, yeah, that's great. That's great. But like, then you have like stuff like where it just doesn't make any sense. Like, how is Hinata not the most ripped lady you've ever seen with how strong she is? So I'm like, sometimes I'm like, this isn't fit. And then sometimes I'm like, no, let me see it all day.
The answer is yes, we need it, and you should stop. Beat you up. No, that's some fair points. I mean, I guess, yeah, they're just kind of different builds. I mean, in that kind of context of Iwakakaru. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
So I will fight you.
If I'm not here in the next episode, you know why.
Yeah, stick around. Yeah, stick around for the weekend talks and see if it's just me and Johnny. We have
Welcome
the
to
anime
Fight Casuals.
Yeah, right. So we've had the anime tropes that we like, and now, kind of in the middle. Of course, we can still bring that into here. But anime tropes that we really cannot stand. Johnny, you know exactly where I'm going with this. The anime trope that I cannot stand are these weak ass main protagonists that get all these chicks because they're nice. They're nice. Oh my god,
Yeah,
he's so nice. Oh my
I figured that was
god.
coming. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. It's one of the biggest reasons why I hate Kazuya from Rent a Girlfriend. Bro, that guy is so annoying. He's so annoying. And I just realized, like, it's not even jealousy anymore. It's just like these
Uh,
girls all deserve better. Like, the girl in there is working hard and, like, working hard to, like, for something. This guy's got no future. And coming from a guy with no future and no future plans, like, I don't mind that or anything like that, but, at least put him in the spot and then give him, like, some progression because he's done almost nothing, man. And then
mm.
she's like, oh my god, he saved my life. You fell off of a boat. Of course he has to save your life. And he's like the only one who's he's like, of course he has to save your life. Oh my god, man. It's like a Stockholm syndrome or something like that, or the Nightingale syndrome or something like that. It's just like
Mm.
these girls just feel compelled to like this guy for being like a little bit nice. It's like, oh my god, nobody's ever bought me a drink before. It's like, what in the world? If it were that easy, every guy in the bar would just be like would be drowning in women, dude. Oh my god. But yeah, that shit just gets me so annoyed sometimes. But yeah, before I keep going, what are some of your guys' ones that you don't like?
Hmm. Be honest, I haven't been able to think of one that I especially hate, though I recognize yours and I do support it. Some of those male characters are just kind of ridiculous. I mean, like, for example, to be more specific, I mean, does that guy even have a job? I mean, he must. I mean, assuming just because the show is Rent a Girlfriend. So, I mean, he must
So
have some kind of income.
he gets a job like in the middle of it because he has to pay for this girl that but he's still a freaking loser, man. That's the worst part about it is it's just the hot ratio of her and the accomplishments of her does not, this guy's got nothing. He's literally got nothing. Also, he has the worst taste in clothes ever. He always wears these pinstripe pants, and I'm just like, come on, dude, like dress for the level of woman that you're taking out, man. Like, come on, But yeah.
So I gotta call back one because it used to bother me a lot. Now I don't care, but I wanted to bring it out because it's still weird to me. Is that when anime characters just have their eyes closed? And I'm sure you guys all know who I'm talking about when I call back to my childhood. That he's also the leader of a gym, and his eyes never opened once, but somehow he's able to function normally. We're talking about Brock over here. Now, Brock is a man whose eyes don't open, but he functions normally in everyday scenario. And I'm like, okay. I kind of get like maybe like your eyes are formed that way, or but I'm like, why are you animated with just a line there? I don't get that. And why we show him? Why was it a lazy thing when they animated it? It was like, well, you know what? We'll just make Brock with just a line there. He's got no eyes. But too many times have I randomly stumbled across an anime where I'm like, oh, there's a character who doesn't open their eyes. Like if we're thinking like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, like that dude's dad, like how his eyebrows are just constantly there. That's what I'm reminded of every time. I'm like, there's no human that's like that. No human ever is just like. And their eyes are just closed all the time. I'm like,
Clint Eastwood. I mean, he's always staring down people. Just
yeah, totally. But I mean, like, you can animate that a little better and not just close their eyes. Like when Clint Eastwood squints at somebody, his eyes don't become lines magically, or his eyebrows don't lower down to here. I'm like, that's always one thing that I've been like, why? Why is that there? And I kind of assume that one day maybe the people who animated Brock were like, let's go look at this other guy. Oh, we can make his eyes lines too, because this other guy was. I'm like, that's a tradition that needs to stop. Animate people's eyes. They're cool.
I was gonna say Master Roshi. We've never seen his eyes, but we do see him in like the latest season. So never mind.
They finally did
it. They did show him when he was Jackie Chun or something like that in the.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, in the Dragon Ball.
when.
Yeah,
I
in
forgot
Dragon
about
Ball.
that.
In Dragon Ball Z, technically,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think we ever saw it, but
Yeah, separate series.
yeah.
I got one more
Separate, but
to rant
equal.
about.
Okay.
And this used to bother me a lot in the 90s, but people have stopped doing it as much. and I thought it was lazy writing. But you remember like the times where you would be watching Dragon Ball Z and there'd be somebody saying exactly everything they were doing. Like he's like, oh my god, he's charging up. Oh my god, he's blasting the Cell. Oh my god, Cell's dodged that. And every time I'd be like, as a kid, I was not bothered, but as I was growing up, I'm like, why are we filling dialogue moments with, or why are we filling the empty space with them saying what they're doing when I can see what they're doing? And I've loved it a lot more because things like Samurai Jack have come out, that the people play with the silence more and just show action. And we've seen like anime more and more do this, where they go like, just leave the dialogue off, just have them fight. Like, who cares? We don't need them talking. And that I love so much more, because I'm like, you could have had all these moments that are amazing where people are just watching your fight scenes, but instead you layer them with like these ridiculous moments of people saying, oh my god, Lucky's stroking his chin, now he's staring at the camera, now he's looking at me, now he's looking at Johnny and raising his eyebrows. It's like, why? Like, we're seeing Lucky do that, why do we need to actually talk about it?
Because budget.
Because budget. But wouldn't it be cheaper not just to pay the voice actors? I don't know. So yeah.
No, they just trick them into saying what they need in the scene, and they're like, got it. We were accidentally recording.
Yeah.
Anything else from you, Johnny? For the things that you hate?
Man, I don't. If I did like a solid like half an hour research, I could probably find something, but I can't think of anything that I especially dislike. I keep like jumping through like different anime in my brain, and yeah, no, I can't think of any right now.
So for me,
it's all wonderful.
For me, this one. So I was trying to think. I have like a couple on here. So maybe, since I did mention it earlier, since I did mention it a little bit earlier, I did mention edgy characters, and that would come back in this one. Edgy characters that are whiny, I don't like, and I'm gonna give one in particular, Sasuke. Now I know that Sasuke has been through a lot of crap. I don't want to discount that, but when you see somebody like Guts, it ruins almost every other edgy character. Like, it really does ruin almost every edgy character, because like Sasuke had so many chances to just be with the village and be like, hey, like, let's take down, this together and all that kind of stuff. Guts doesn't have that. If you got, I mean, not to spoil too much, but he doesn't have like almost anybody right now. And he keeps on going, and that's what I like about Guts. I just think it's the perfect edgy character. It's kind of ruined other edgy characters for me, because I see Sasuke like trying to be edgy, like, when he's in like the 5 Kage Summit, and he's like on top of he's upside down, just looking at everybody with his shouting gun, like dun 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 dun. Yeah, I'm just like, I can't. Oh man, like, you're a cool character, Sasuke. I get it, and you started winning me over towards the end and everything, but yeah, dude, I just can't. I can't stand edgy characters that whine like a whole lot, and I can't really think any other ones off the top of my head. But Sasuke is just the embodiment of that like whiny, edgy character, kind of like somebody from like Twilight or something like that. That's what he reminds me of. Is like somebody that's like, oh my god, my life is so hard, even though I'm immortal and I'm banging 17-year-olds that shouldn't be banging. Like, even though I'm like 6,000 years old, I'm like, oh, shut up, dude. But yeah, what did you have, Michael?
Well, I forgot about a good one. I'll just throw that in real quick. Is that food is great. Just want to keep that simple. Is that we should always keep up anime food looking amazing, and if that ever stops, we get rid of anime. I was kidding.
See, I was still on the like tropes we hate. So it was like, I hate food that looks amazing. I was like, what?
No.
Why?
I just want to throw that in. I just want to make sure everybody knows food that looks amazing should always be an anime. In fact, we should have an anime about it. Wait.
There's a couple out there.
Yeah, there's a couple out there. Johnny, anything else you hate? You don't like?
Nothing that's like broad in anime. I mean, I keep looking over this reference sheet over here, and I mean, there's some stuff in One Piece I don't like, but it's not really. There's no other anime that does that. Like, no other anime has like a 30 to 40 episode long escape scene. Yeah. So that's just One Piece. Shame on you.
All right, so yeah. Johnny, since you're having some trouble with ideas, I have 2 really big ones that I think we can talk about for the remainder of this. and you guys can choose whatever one you want, or you can choose both of them. Is racism and incest. I so
You
so
got a
and,
good
and
one there.
what I mean by racism is not this like no, we won't get too crazy on this channel or mainstream in this channel, but what I mean by racist is the way that they portray other like Americans. There was this one anime that I remember. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was this detective thing, and one of the guys was, and every time he would find somebody, like he would expose them as the culprit, they would turn into like a demon type thing because this guy was like a detective from the underworld. So
Mhm.
when he got this American guy, the American guy just turned into like a stereotypical guy with like a cowboy hat, big nose, had a hamburger for like no reason. Like I don't know where he got the hamburger from. They're at a hot spring, so I don't know if he just took that from hell and was like, oh, I got a hamburger now. There, it's just like racism that's just like it's more like they're them using stereotypes on other races and it's like the weirdest ones for some reason. And then incest. Man, the first time I ever really had to think about this was like Sword Art Online when his sister's like all up on Kirito's grill, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
she's like, oh yeah, I already know, we're just cousins. I'm like, yeah, you're first cousins. You're first cousins. What are you talking about? You're just cousins. It's not like, oh yeah, no, we're like fifth, sixth. You're first cousins. You guys, it's like, oh my god, dude. I couldn't stand it. And then I'm starting to see it way too much, and it's almost killing the romance genre for me because I'm seeing it a little too much, and sometimes
Wow.
I have to be like, sorry. Sometimes like I have to let this out somewhere, okay? But I wanted to watch this one called Oremo, but that's all it's about. That's all it's about. All of it is just this guy and this girl. His sister's like a tsundere. She's like, no, I don't like you. And then this guy is just choosing her over every girl, and I'm like, and she even does this creepy thing where she like dyes her hair not to his color but to blonde so that they don't like look too much alike. I'm like, ugh, like this, ugh, ugh, ugh. Yeah, but so what do you guys think about those two?
Well, let's get into incest real quick, Lucky. I already mentioned this back when I did One Room, is that it was awkward when suddenly your sister's suddenly going, oh, what? Like she does like this like pose. She goes like, I'll do anything for you or something like that. And it's like, she's like, oh, well, my friend told me about it. I thought it'd just be funny. It's like, no, it's not funny. It's like, we're siblings. So I'm like, yeah, we love each other, but we don't love each other that way. And whatever Pornhub might say, this is not what we're gonna see in anime.
Hey, it's you have to put a step before that. Remember, step brother, step
Oh,
sister.
that's true.
Because
That's true. That's
because
true.
guess what? That's a step in the right direction.
Bling.
And we'll end. We're ending anime casuals right there. Our YouTube is down. We'll see you guys later.
So
Hold on, that's gonna be our next T-shirt.
Yeah, right. Oh man. So what do you think, Johnny? What do you think about those two topics in anime?
I'll be honest. I had to think about that for a second. The racism. I actually don't. I can't think of too many instances that I can think of where I've seen that, but the one that I definitely did think of was Angel Beats. There's this one guy in there who's, if I remember right, he's always speaking English. He doesn't talk very much, but when he does, it's always these like English one-liners. So it proved to be pretty funny. So I was like, that's fine. Like, biggest one, he says something like, I don't remember what. It was a good line, and he jumps out a window. And I was like,
He says
that's a great line. Just jump out.
He says song names, if I'm not mistaken, like our
Oh,
album
really?
names, because he's always wearing headphones or something like that. So he's always like, it's down to beat, and then he does something, and he's like, you just got to get groovy, and then he does something.
So I mean that isn't always a bad thing. The incest thing, I was like, come on, I never see that in any anime. And then I was slowly putting a list in my head. And I was like, okay, maybe it's a little more than I realized. Though I don't know if it shows up a lot in romance anime. I mean, I can think of one there's a moment in the first episode, but then that was more of a serious topic. So it actually made me kind of want to go back and watch it. Not for incest reasons, but because I was like, I wonder where that goes. I don't know. I haven't seen too many extreme examples. Hardest one would probably be like Handshakers, because I mean you had to watch that, so you saw some of that.
Actually, I had to watch both of those. The one room one was pretty bad because at one point his freaking sister like
Handshake.
straddles him, and the handshaker one, oh my god! I mean, who knows where they went after that? I mean, you do see them at one point, but it's just
Well, they
like
went on a vacation.
yeah.
They
But I
say
mean,
that
they
again. You're
eventually
like,
came
let's
back for the school
leave.
festival because she was there. So I mean, who knows what happened before then
Oh,
and
fair
that.
enough.
But
And the
ha
main
ha, I
character's like,
got you
hey,
there.
it's not your sister. You leave her alone.
And then I guess another example of the racist thing. By the way, I'm not saying like I'm not bringing this like cancel culture type thing to
Uh-huh.
the racism thing. It's more like just it's just kind of funny the way Japanese people view other people. Like you remember we were watching Durarara, Johnny, and there's that Russian black guy
Yeah,
Simon,
yeah.
and he had like the biggest lips. And I'm
Russia
starting to realize
sushi.
that I'm always starting to realize that like all like black people in anime that I'm seeing that are like overly emphasized are like really big lips. Like and it's like
Mr. Popo.
oh whoa
Jinx from
whoa
Pokemon.
Hold on. Get your
whoa we
finger
don't
off the gun, man.
whoa
You're triggering
man
everybody. You're triggering
yeah whoa
everybody,
let's calm
man.
down here man I just
I didn't
mentioned
draw it.
Mr. Popo,
I didn't draw
Mr.
it.
Popo's something. I don't know what he is.
oh my
What? He's a
god
wonderful character. Good guy.
Uh,
yeah
uh,
what
I
was
was also gonna say, example of incest, man, is like No Game No Life. Like it's not incest, but it is because the sister and brother are like way too close, but also they're not sister
That definitely
and brother.
rides that line between they're just really insecure and like
Well,
they need each other to
and when
think
you
I
watch
think
it, like they call each other sister and brother, but like then it goes in the backstory that they were both adopted and put together because they were too smart. But like it's still the implication that you're calling each other sister and brother and have like a very more than familial love for each other. And like obviously the older brother's like, no, I'm gonna get with this girl because I need to lose my virginity and go have sex with her. And then the sister's like, no, only me. And like that's like basically the stereotype every time. It's like every time it's like the dude's like, I mean, I got you, but I'm gonna go look elsewhere. And the sister's like, no, come back here. You get no boy, no girls, just your sister. And it's always like, why?
yeah it's really like it's really really strange, especially that like I mean it reminds me of like I mean okay I mean I don't really care it's kind of reminds me of like Dexter and Deborah from Dexter that was weird. They tried to get into that. I was like, what am I watching, anime? What is this what's going on here? What is this, a freaking Samoan drama? What's going on here? Like why is everybody getting with their family, man? But yeah, it's a really strange thing. But I think that's why we love anime, is all the crazy tropes that we can expect to see. From the yanderes to the
racism and
sunderes
incest.
to the racism to the incest, to the crazy overpowered characters, and yeah, anything in between there. So yeah, that was our anime discussion, guys. And don't forget that we're making our weekend talks, which is kind of where we talk about our weekly anime that we all watch. Which will be is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? One Piece and Fire Force, all into that weekend talk, and that's podcast exclusive. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll put the link to our Spotify on there. You can check that out, and yeah. Besides that, guys, don't forget to keep it casual.